This video is for the people that say he don't know what he talking about. Who is this guy? What does he know? Right? You see, what have we been talking about the last few weeks? Most of my videos I start with this, right? Because again, if you're in crypto, you should have some Bitcoin, and you know, it's just crazy to me. Like, honestly, 90%, I would say 90%, I know that sounds crazy, of people in crypto don't have any Bitcoin because they've conditioned their mind, and you know, they listen to the Twitter folk and all that, and they think Bitcoin is too expensive. What you can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin, $100 worth of Bitcoin. Everybody that bought Bitcoin yesterday is up today. It doesn't matter how much, right? So, but yeah, I would say 90% of people in crypto don't have any Bitcoin. And so, but here's, you know, little old me, little old, you know, small YouTube channel guy saying, yo, right, you should be in this. And I've been saying this since it was, you know, like $300. And I think my first, you know, time I mentioned Bitcoin on my channel, I think it was, you know, $200 or $300 or something like that. So, you know, but what do I know? But I'm telling you guys, this is going to continue, right? And so if you've been on the sideline with any of the things that I'm talking about, now is the time to get in. But with respect to Bitcoin, what's going on? I'm telling you, like, we're just getting started. We're getting ready to hurt a lot of people's feelings, okay? Because as you'll see in a moment, a lot of people are still short, unbelievably, right? So what is this? This orange line is the Bitcoin price, and this green is the balance of Bitcoin that are on exchanges. Okay, so what does that mean? Don't pay attention to the orange right now, but you see this green is going down. What that means is there is less and less and less Bitcoin being held, and you can see it here. Binance is the top dog. Less and less Bitcoin is being held on exchanges. That means that people are holding Bitcoin in cold storage, or they're holding it in a hot wallet, or what have you know. More people are doing self-custody, which is cool. But what it also means is there's a large percentage of people that are putting this away because they have no plans to sell it. See, if we were having the opposite effect, people sending Bitcoin to the exchanges, the only reason you're sending something to an exchange is to sell it. You know, if you're a seasoned crypto person, right? So, you know, but we see the exact opposite. We see Bitcoin leaving exchanges, okay? This is really, really dangerous for shorts, right? So what does that mean that they have less Bitcoin? What it means is either way, up or down, if there's a spike, it's gonna cause a greater increase in price than if there was a lot more Bitcoin on exchanges, right? This means that you know, your liquidity, your pools, all of that on the exchanges, they have less. So if a bunch of people want to buy, it's gonna spike the price more. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, and that's probably one of the biggest things, okay? But there's something else going on. Okay, let me see if I can show you this right quick. The other thing that's going on is you still have a lot of people who are short. Okay, so you see 24-hour short volume is up 135%. Okay, so the higher Bitcoin goes up, you have more people that foolishly are going short. Okay, right? And you see the breakdown here, and they get even more detail. You see Binance has the best balance of people who are long. Okay, and still it's not that big of a difference. 45% of the people on Binance are short. Almost 50% of the traders on OKX are short. And that's true for a lot of these other ones. Some of these exchanges that I've never heard of. CoinEx. Oh, this is crazy. I just looked at this before I started the video, and this was 50-50. And so now it's 55% of people on this exchange. Again, I've never heard of this exchange. Are short. They're probably trading futures or something like that. So again, what's going to happen is, like, just this exchange right here, if Bitcoin pops, it's going to liquidate a lot of shorts, because it's not like people who are just short using no leverage. No. They're using 5x, 10x or more leverage to short as well. So what that means is, and it already happened, you can see here 50 million of short volume on Bitcoin in the last 5 minutes. This has already been executed. Most of this happened automatically, meaning the Bitcoin price shot up, and because they were 5x, 10x, they got liquidated, right? And so for any bull run, we'll call it a bull run, I don't call it that, but anytime you get like extreme spikes, and I'm not saying we have had an extreme spike, because we haven't, but anytime you do, you must have a lot of shorts. You have to. Okay, this was one of the things that I figured out years ago with stocks. I developed some systems and everything, and people use them now, but I was really one of the first people to start looking at what's called the short float. And I developed an entire system that had all these different things going on, but I could pretty much predict which stock in the short term was going to pop based on all these indicators. Well, one of the indicators was what percentage of people are short. And in stocks, if you find a stock with like a 10% or 15% short percentage, right, then any good news, bullish news, or even if it's fake news, whatever, it's gonna pop 10 to 15%. Okay, one time I found a stock that had almost 30% short percentage, right? And I'm like, oh, this is going to go nuts, right? We just need to be patient. It's going to go nuts. Well, that week it went up 50%. We're talking about a stock that week, right? And I was playing options at the time. So, I was working with some people, and somebody was able to make 50 times their money. Dude was crying and everything, right? Well, that's with 30%. What do you think is going to happen with 45 and 50% people are on the wrong side of the trade? Now, I have to be clear. There's a lot more liquidity in Bitcoin, right? This stock that I was trading, to be honest, I don't know if I'm just being honest, but maybe there might have been maybe 10 million, 15, 20 million in liquidity, maybe, right? But Bitcoin has billions, so you're not going to get a 50% spike in like a day or two, but certainly over time, with all these people that are on the wrong side of the trade. So you got two things going on. You got liquidity dropping on the exchanges, right? And then you have all of this. You can just look at all this red as fuel, right? And all it takes is a spark, and it seems like we've already had that spark. And so if this continues, right, it had got up to 28,000. If this continues going up, what you're going to have is more and more and more people getting liquidated automatically. Like they can't do anything about it. They can't get out the trade. Automatically they're going to be liquidated, and automatically that's what's going to push the Bitcoin price up. So again, if you're a Bitcoin hater, or you're a non-believer, or whatever the case might be, you might want to reconsider that. And again, guys, you just don't trade Bitcoin. It's one of the most rarest forms of cryptocurrency out there. It has the most adoption. It still doesn't have the adoption that it's going to have, but it has the absolute most adoption out there. And it's still very much an unknown. As I've said before, this is going to be six figures. It's not even a question. And personally, I believe that one day, one Bitcoin will equal 1 million, right? So what's the game plan? You should have some Bitcoin now. Of course, I talk about the things that I've been telling you guys about, and so on and so forth, right? If you got less than 10 grand, I'm going to tell you really quick how you can become a millionaire in 2 steps. Seriously, right? You take 5,000 or 2,000, 3,000, right? 10,000, 8,000, right? You put it in this right here. Just want to show you what this has done. Up 45%, which is actually low, up 45% over the last month, right? This is what it's done all time. And you've never heard about this, right? You don't know anything about this, right? But you can go back and look at some of my videos where I've talked about this. But if you got less than 10 grand, put 2, 3, 5, 7,000 and 100, okay? My belief, not financial advice, my belief is that it's going to at least 100x again from here, okay? It's already up over 100x, and you still don't know about it, right? So I believe this is going to at least, at the minimum, conservatively 100x again, right? So your $3,000 at that point is worth 300,000. Okay, and then you're gonna do what? Then let's hope let's hope that at that time Maybe Bitcoin is, 50,000, right? And what do? You just stick, like if you got some bills to pay or something like that, or, credit cards and stuff, okay, take 5,000, take 10,000, you know what I'm saying? Don't sell it even close to, or try to sell as little as possible, and take care of some stuff. I'm talking about after, 100 is like at $1 billion market cap, right? Just take that 300 grand, 500 grand, 100,000 and stick it in Bitcoin. And hopefully, like I said, we're at 40, 50,000 by that point. Okay. And just let it stay there. And over time, that 50,000 Bitcoin is going to turn into, at least, I think, 3, 4, 500,000 Bitcoin. I think it's going to be $1 million. I really do. Right. So if you're able to buy like 10 Bitcoin or 8 Bitcoin or 7 Bitcoin, something like that, just think about that. If it hits $1 million, right, how good are you going to be looking? Okay. So just wanted to share that. It's really that simple. And I can't think of right now, any other, better combination, like really simple, something your mom can do, your grandma can do. Like, we're not about jumping in and out and stuff like that. Everybody can't do that. I give simple concepts that people can follow. And I've helped a number of people become millionaires. I can't think of a simpler setup right now. So it's your boy BSG. Holla at y'all in the next video.